everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. I've got another beer review for you, and it is of this. Firstly, I have to say, Trav Wilson, I'm sorry mate, I'm sorry it's taken me so long. For a bit of background, Trav sent me this beer about a year ago. I just haven't got around to reviewing it. It's kind of fallen to the back of the box, and it's 12%, so I knew it. I always knew it was there. It was 12%, so I knew it was fine. But today is that day. What is it? It is a Deeds Brewing Company Glorious Purpose, and it's defined as a blended Imperial Stout with cherries. And like I say, 12%. Big boy beer, this one. Another stunning bit of artwork on the can from Deeds. Deeds are from a place called Glen Iris down in Victoria in Australia. I've had quite a few of the Deeds beers. That hazy pale there was particularly fantastic. But the Deeds beers seem to hit the spot every single time. One of the best stouts I think I can have from Deeds was another one that Trav sent, and it was a peanut butter Imperial Stout, and it just like blew my mind. And I gave the rest of it to my wife, and she was like, that was the first beer where she was like, oh my god, beer is amazing. And I was like, yeah, it really is, especially when these guys have got anything to do with it. I think we just got to get it open and into the glass. Like I say, it is it wasn't brewed recently. This could go mad. No, it hasn't. There we go. Oh my god, I've just seen the colour of the foam in the top of the can. Let's get it in the glass then. A blended Imperial Stout. I wonder what that means. Unless they've blended it with cherries, I don't know. But there we have it. What have we got then? Wow, this looks good. It's got a funny colour head, this one. I don't know if it's going to come across on camera. We have got, oh my god, the smell. A jet black beer, a one finger. It's brown, but it's got a slight red hue to it. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of almost copper in colour. One finger head of that colour. Carbonation, not much sign of it. Like I say, it's 12%. It's going to be a good one. We've got to get a nose in it. I caught a really sour cherry note as I poured it into the glass, but let's go and see what we get. Oh my god, that is Black Forest Gatto. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rich chocolate. Rich chocolate. Almost smells barrel aged, this beer. Bit of vanilla, bit of oak, bit of wood. The cherries are in there. It smells really rich. It's almost got this creaminess to the aroma as well, which smells quite good. It looks really light, actually, the body. It's almost got a bit of tobacco in there as well, a bit of tobacco smoke. This smells really interesting. The head's all but gone now, probably because of the cherries. The fruit, if you add fruit into a beer, normally it kills the head pretty fast. So I think that's what's happened here. It looks pretty thin, I have to say. Like it's not got that big gloopy nature that I was expecting out of it, but hey ho, it doesn't matter. It might benefit actually if it's a higher ABV and it's got a slightly thinner body. It probably might benefit from it. Let's go in. Cheers, everybody. Oh my good lord. It is tobacco. There's definitely like a tobacco, almost like you put your head into like a tobacco, your granddad's old tobacco pouch. This is a complex beer, this one. This is going to take a little while for me to break down properly. Look at the legs. The first thing you hit with along with that carbonation is a slight sour hit, and I'm presuming it's from the cherries. And then there's this like proper dark chocolate richness that comes in. This beer, it's got lovely alcohol burn as well. You know it's 12%. It's chocolate. Then it's cherry. Then as the beer goes down, it starts to burn. There's a slight touch of that tobacco. A touch of vanilla. It's a bit woody as well. Like I say, I haven't looked at this can. I never do, but I would guess it was barrel aged as well. It's just too complex for it not to be. towards the back end. Oh yeah, I was kind of waiting for that roastiness. There's a lovely roasted coffee, a bit more of that real roasted dark chocolate at the back. And you're left with this vanilla, no real level of lingering bitterness, but it's lovely and it's vanilla. It's an oak barrel vanilla. Like I say, it's a bit woody, a bit tobacco-y. It's a bit harsh. It's a bit more of a harsh vanilla, if you know what I mean. That, wow, what a beer. What a beer. I wish I drunk it last winter. It's now July. I mean, July 2023 it is now. Admittedly, the weather outside is rubbish. But it's got that really sort of cocoa, Black Forest Gatto, cakey thing to it, if you know what I mean. Bit sticky, moorish. Wow, this beer review is a bit of a mess, but it's just so complex, this beer. Lovely sour hit at the front now with that cherry. That's really coming on now. This beer hasn't been in the fridge, but maybe it's just benefited from being in the glass a little while. Getting much more of that cherry now where I wasn't before with that sourness at the start. But there is this kind of woody, oaky undertone that runs all the way through the beer. Oh, especially at the back. It's just hit me. This beer almost changes with every sip. Every time I swill the glass around, it almost changes. This beer every time. But it literally is like if you could make a Black Forest Gatto into an Imperial Stout. This is exactly what it is. It's definitely got that, like I say, that cocoa, that real chocolate cakiness to it. It's got a little touch of that cream that you get in a Forest Gatto, and the cherry sour is on top. Let's have a look at the can then. Established in 2012, proudly independent. Glorious purpose. Here we go. We are burdened, dear drinker, with a glorious purpose to pull, rip and stretch our imaginations to the furthest possible reaches, hoping they don't snap, leaving us in a spiralling delirium of sorts. This is actually what it says. We do this in order to bring a darkly delectable beverage to your lips. An Imperial Stout fermented on copious amounts of cherries and then blended with several bourbon barrels. Okay, that's where I was getting the vanilla. Aging some of our many Imperial Stouts, ultimately creating an intense, singular experience. Come along with us and try a truly worthy beverage, as you, in the end, are our glorious purpose. Style, blended Imperial Stout, cherry, additions cherries. I haven't had a beer like that in a while. Gotta be honest. Been a bit bored of craft stouts for a long time now. Probably the best part of a year, which is probably why I haven't had much of a desire to crack it open. Which I'm kind of worried about this new Bristol brewery. Salted chocolate big cinder toffee stout. All those sweet things, all that sweetness, artificial sweetness is lobbed in a beer. Whereas this is exactly what I like from a stout. Certainly an Imperial Stout. Loads of roasted malt character, bring beautiful dark chocolate and real deep roasted coffee flavours. It's put on top of cherries, natural flavourings. I don't mind natural flavourings in beer, and you are picking that up. But that's only really at the start. It's very quickly into that Imperial Stout thing, especially with it being barrel aged. You're picking up a lot of those notes, and that woody note that runs all the way through keeps the beer kind of. It keeps a little bit of quality in the beer all the way through. The beer never really gets dull because of that. But yeah, that is an absolute pleasure. One of the best Imperial Stouts I've ever had. That is up there with, for me, that is up there with the barrel aged narwhal from Sierra Nevada in terms of quality and what I like out of a beer. Like I say, I've been really critical of the craft sort of stout scene now for at least a year. when you look at sort of Vocation and Brew York, they just seem to lob any old sweet thing, especially Tiny Rebel or another one, not that I drink a lot of their stuff, just lob anything sweet into a stout and package it up. But this beer proves that you don't need to do that in order to make an amazing beer. That's fantastic. That is a 5 out of 5. I can't give it any less. That's just, yeah. Normally with a lot of these beers, for clarity, I'll just pour. There's normally about that much left in the can. Normally I'll just, like, probably a third left in the can normally when I drink them. I'll normally pour them away. But with this, I'm taking it downstairs and I'm sitting on the sofa and chilling out with my dogs. So this is fantastic. Trav, thanks once again for sending it in, mate. Sorry it took so long to get there. But yeah, what a beer. Guys, let me know what you think. Deeds Brewing, they are Australian. I don't think we get a lot of it over here. But if we do, pick it up. If you see anything with a Deeds label on it, pick it up. It's brilliant. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.